Hey everybody, welcome to Big Balls Fantasy Football, the only show with powerful picks, sexy super fans, and is really fun. I am your host, 20-year fantasy veteran, Greg Reifsteck.
And I'm your co-host, Jenilee Borek. We're both Chicago Bears fans. As you can see, we have our gear on. And I'm also a 10-year fantasy veteran. And together we are the beauty
and the beast
of fantasy football experts.
So we usually start the show talking about the Bears, but last week was like a competing for your job game, which a lot of people lost their job on the Bears squad. A lot of third stringers, and way to go, Johnny Football, for kicking the crap out of our practice squad. We really appreciate you teaching them a lesson. You know, it was kind of like watching Sandlot football, where the bully, gets the ball and just kind of passes all over the place.
Yeah, and I don't even think a lot of our second string was in. I think it was mostly third string that was in the entire game. So, it obviously wasn't a game that mattered. Most of the fourth preseason games aren't really games that matter. It is just people fighting for their job. Yeah. And in that way, personally, it matters for those players because all the rosters had to be cut down as of Saturday. The final rosters are out, and the season starts this week.
The season starts this week, everybody. It's week number 1.
Yay!
Thursday night football, everybody. We got the Packers versus the Super Bowl champs. Sorry.
I would like to see the Packers go 0-1. That would make me happy.
I think we already know they're going to go 0-1. I already congratulated Prost on the loss when they put it on the schedule. That's how confident I think I am. We all saw Seattle's D in the preseason. They're just monsters. This is going to be a scary season for any team that plays up there, and thank goodness we might not have to do that.
Oh yeah, we already did it in preseason.
Much later.
So we definitely don't have to do it during the regular season. Mm-hmm. And, it just seems Russell Wilson is getting better and better in that offense every year. So I'm definitely excited to see how that offense runs. They have Percy Harvin this year, who was injured through basically all of last season. So it should be an interesting matchup, though, for sure.
So let's get into the draft. The biggest balls of them all, Part 2 draft. Ta-da! There's the results, everybody.
Big draft board.
Yeah. The only draft that I know of in our area that had lovely Jenilee here and lovely Smash, Ashlee. We did a little bikini shoot beforehand that you guys have seen some of the pictures of online, and you'll get to see more and more pictures as the season progresses.
Yeah, we like to kind of update our theme, and this year we went with the bikinis, and everyone was a little bit sexy in the shoot. So it was an absolutely fun shoot to do, and then we had the draft, so we pretty much just left our bikinis on. And we have a little clip from the draft to share with you all. Hey, it's Jenilee. We're at the Big Balls Fantasy Football Draft, and I took Golden Tate and Ben Tate last year. I can't remember the rounds or the order, but I did it again this year. So Golden Tate is gone and in the 10th, and Ben Tate is gone in the 11th. So it didn't work out as I planned last year, but they're both on different teams this year. Golden Tate's the number 2 wide receiver. Ben Tate's the starting running back this year. So I planned for it to work better.
Why don't you give us a rundown of the first round real fast?
And the first round, as you can see, I had the first pick. And so LaShawn McCoy went first, of course. We are in a PPR league. Then Adrian Peterson went. I'd say that was a little surprise from my spectrum. But Jason got him.
AP24.
Then Prost, who's on Skype, if you want to say hi to the camera, Prost.
Hi to the camera.
So we Skyped Prost in, and he decided to go with Matt Forte, even though he's a diehard Green Bay Packer fan. And next we had Cash, who's also on Skype on another computer, and he went with Eddie Lacy. So we had a Green Bay Packer take a Bears pick first round, and we had a Bears fan take a Green Bay pick first round. That was kind of interesting. Then we have Shell, who we have to auto draft for, and he got Jamal Charles. That was a surprise. I took Charles in the second round of my other draft. And then we had Megatron go with Ryan. Get Ryan. He's here.
He's actually here. He's not on Skype this year. He's here. He's a Los Angeles citizen.
Yeah. So we had our first wide receiver go, Megatron, Greg the Beast.
Hey, I took the Beast because I do Beast mode. What can I say, man? He was the best running back on the board. I don't know. I don't like DeMarco Murray. He sometimes gets a little injury prone. So, but then in round 8.
So that was Beast mode, and then in round 8, Ashlee. Hi, Ash.
Hello, went with DeMarco Murray, best on the board. I know you're saying injuries, but I'm having faith this year. I'm having faith.
Hey, he only missed 2 games last year. I had him last year, and I ended up in the championship round. So, Ashlee, I think that's a good pick for PPR. Dallas is going to be running the ball.
What do I know?
What does Greg know? So, anyways, that wraps up our first round, and this is where we're at in the draft so far.
So, yeah. Interesting first round in the draft, I thought. And then, of course, you tated it up again.
I did again, and I have much more faith in it this year than last year. I did it last year because they were both on contract years, and I know players usually try to play extremely well in their contract year to get a big contract. Well, they both did get contracts. They both went to different teams. Golden Tate, obviously, from Seattle to the Lions, and Ben Tate from Houston to the Browns. So I think it's going to work out better this year. I think they're both in better positions. Ben Tate's obviously going to be the starter, which he wasn't the starter. He was behind Arian Foster in Houston. And Golden Tate's in an offense that's going to pass the ball a lot more. And Megatron always sees that double, triple coverage. So, hopefully Golden Tate will be open. So I'm stashing them both on my bench. I might have put Ben Tate in my flex position, but for the most part, I don't need them as my main starters. So, I got a couple weeks to kind of see how they do.
Yeah, I'm happy, very happy with my lineup. I can't complain. I have some really good, strong running backs. I love that I got Zach Stacy. I'm telling you, people, Zach Stacy is my guy. And, of course, I had to pick up Darren Sproles in the later round because I look at him as my good luck charm. I think I've had him on my team every season. I think I even had him as a rookie.
This is one of the seasons in many that I haven't actually had him on any of my teams, so it was kind of interesting. But I got LaShawn McCoy back on 2 of my squads this year, so that was pretty awesome. I haven't had him in a little while. And then we had 2 drafts actually in a row, 2 days in a row this weekend. So we had a little bit of fun, a lot of drinking in one of them.
And I apparently, I finished the draft.
I
finished the draft, but we were doing a shot every 4 rounds, and I'm a beer guy, not a liquor guy, and I haven't even seen the picture yet. Here it is.
Greg took a little bit of a nap.
Yeah, man.
But,
drafting is hard.
It is hard.
I'm gonna be like a chick. Drafting is hard.
And it was our last draft both of us had, so it was very relaxed and a party draft.
We did back-to-back drafts, one day right after the other. Bikini photo shoot, drinking the day before all afternoon and all night, into the night, and then drinking the next day.
It was a good holiday weekend.
I was embarrassed being the beast and passing out. But, even the lion needs to sleep tonight.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying. All right. Well, let's get down to some serious business. We actually have a listener question, and what we want you guys to do is give us your listener questions on Facebook, or you can tweet them to us, or you can just hashtag Sexy Superfans. That's going to be our new hashtag for this season. We're also going to start a photo contest later in the season, but we just want to get it going with some fan questions. So, at Big Balls F Ball is our Twitter feed. You can go to our Facebook page, Big Balls Fantasy Football, or you can reach us, at our website, bigballsfantasyfootball.com. You can even give us a message there, for crying out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we want to do it so that we can, give a shout out to you guys that are asking some questions, and so that we can answer them on the air. Our show always goes up sometime on Wednesday. So just get us your questions for that week before Tuesday, because we film on Tuesday. But the answers will be there Wednesday before the Thursday night game, before Sunday, so you will definitely have your answers. So let's get right into it. So this is from Eric Conrad. from Chicago, Illinois. So a Chicago person has our first question, which is kind of fun.
Good to get one from a Bears fan.
It is. So this was a trade that went down in his league, and he said a lot of his league had a problem with it. And so he wanted to know from our standpoint if we thought the trade was fair. So he had Brandon Marshall, Ben Roethlisberger, and Chris Johnson, and he traded those 3 players away, and he got Megatron, Matthew Stafford, and Terrence West. So tell me, just from the trade standpoint, what you think about that trade.
Well, I say we go step by step. I mean, Brandon Marshall, Megatron, of course, Megatron is a little better, but I call that a fair trade because, each of them is going to ball out this season.
Yeah.
So you're going to get your points. They both have good quarterbacks passing to them. They're both in good offensive schemes. That it's kind of that. I think that's kind of a wash.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Marshall always gets a lot of looks from Cutler. Mm-hmm. We know what he's capable of. The one thing that goes against Megatron is he's double covered a lot. I mean, He's so amazing. He still makes plenty happen on the field.
Yeah.
But the other thing is Alshon is over there for the Bears. So, the Bears are a little harder to double cover when you have 2 big receivers out there. So, but I agree. I think that's a pretty even one, especially from last year's numbers.
What do you think of the second tier of it?
The second tier is Roethlisberger for Stafford. I definitely think he got the better end of the deal on that. Stafford, fantasy-wise, is a top 5 quarterback with the yards he normally puts up. Now, they are under Jim Caldwell, so their scheme is going to be a little different. We don't know if he's going to be, the gunslinger that he has been.
Right.
But they're going to let him throw, so I definitely think that that's the stronger quarterback out of the 2.
He has so many more weapons to go
Yes.
to. So many more fantasy weapons to go to. And yes, I mean, Stafford was injury prone that one season, but he's been holding pretty solid the last few. Roethlisberger, about like game 8 or 9, you can ask any Steelers fan, they get a little itchy.
Yeah.
Because he's getting up there in age and he's getting creaky, and you don't have to put up with having to switch gears in the middle of the season. You want to, so yeah. Definitely Stafford was.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a better one. And then it was Chris Johnson and Terrence West. So,
I mean, the jury's out on Terrence West. He's a rookie.
He's a rookie, and he didn't perform as well as they expected him to in preseason.
Right.
They are going to throw him in there and use him some. But yeah, we just haven't really seen what he can do so far. I would lean toward maybe Chris Johnson being the better deal in that one.
I would too.
But the Jets, the Jets backfield is a mess as well.
Right.
It's by committee. There's Chris Ivory there, there's Powell there. So, it's again, Chris Johnson is going to get touches, but he's not going to get all the touches. And he's on a new team, so we really don't know what he's going to do this year. So that one, even though I would lean toward Chris Johnson being better, is a little bit of a toss-up.
It's a toss-up, but I would go more towards CJ just because of the experience.
Exactly. So, but I think so now I'll give kind of the rundown of his team. This is what made, I think, the rest of the league upset. Not so much the trade itself, but what his team looks like after the trade. So, from what I know, he now has Matthew Stafford, Megatron, he has Dez Bryant and Julius Thomas.
Ouch.
So I think the league is just upset that he's stacked as far as those positions. I don't know what his bench and his defense and things like that look like, but having Megatron and Dez Bryant and then throw Julius Thomas in there is pretty intense.
I don't know who talked that other person into the trade. It sounds like a novice league person. I think somebody got had.
Yeah, so because of his squad, he did end up getting the better end of the deal. I don't know what the other squad looks like, but the trade I think was fair. Just looking at the 3 players against the 3 players, it was fair. Sometimes it's just the end product isn't what you like.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's a stacked ass team. That is not cool. All right, let's get into the cool stuff, though. Let's get into our picks of the week, everybody. And we're going to have Beast Mode, 3 Beast Mode picks this week coming right at you. And we're really going to work the ball scale this season. So We have new graphics in the ball scale. We'll mention it, and we'll be showing that on our graphics. And, of course, we're going to have Jenilee's Real Men.
All right, let's get into it.
All right.